Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about the KC-135 tankers from the United States Air Force. Please remember to like and subscribe. Alright, let's get right into it. Fact 1. Not just fuel. So despite the fact that they're called tankers and aerial refueling tankers, these planes don't actually just carry fuel. You could think of these planes as a regular cargo jet, if you will, and they can be reconfigured to carry all kinds of supplies and not just fuel. The most versatile configuration would be the fact that it could carry both fuel as well as all the other medical supplies or equipment necessary to transport cargo from one destination to another. And it's not just one or nothing. The airplane can also configure to both refuel other airplanes with extra fuel and a mixed load of cargo and passengers. And so you can see, this plane is extremely versatile. Here's a picture of where the interior is now converted to carry people. And so at the same time, it could still refuel other fighter jets and so forth. This plane is extremely versatile and multifunctional. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 2. Engine retrofit. Because this airplane is quite old, it has been in service for more than 60 years, first being introduced in 1950s. You can imagine that a lot of new technologies have been invented and implemented in aviation. As a result, the KC-135 tankers are continually being serviced by upgrading its interior as well as engines. In fact, although KC-135 that's out there today flying around has been upgraded with new CFM56 engines. As you can imagine, new airplane engines are much more efficient, and that is the case here. The new engines can offload 50% more fuel, is 25% more fuel efficient, and costs 25% less to operate. And best of all, it's 96% quieter than the traditional engines that it used to use. So as you can see, the Air Force was very good and clever to continue using this aircraft, but simply upgrade its most critical components so that it could continue service today. Not too different from the B-52, these airplanes is one of the oldest ones still in service from the United States Air Force from the 1950s. It's going on 60 years and still very relevant. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 3. 1500 mile range. Because this is a relatively large airplane, and because the fuel is not just for itself but it's also to fuel other airplanes in the Air Force and also Navy, the range of these KC-135 tankers are not that long. 1500 mile range is pretty short for an airplane, especially something of this size. If you think about it, a 4-engine passenger airplane is likely gonna be able to fly more than 1500 miles. But you have to remember, these are also cargo type airplanes. And in aviation, if you have a lot of load, your plane is incredibly heavy, you're gonna burn more fuel to stay afloat. And that is exactly why the range is not so high. It makes sense because with so much payload, your engine needs to work really hard in order to stay in the air. And so when that happens, you can't go as far as you could if you had absolutely no cargo. However, despite its short range, as I mentioned in the previous sections, these KC-135 tankers are extremely versatile cargo aircrafts, and they continue to be relevant today in the United States Air Force. The Air Force doesn't have any plans to completely retire them. They're partially being upgraded with newer types of aerial tankers, but they plan on continuing using the KC-135 as much as they can. And so this short range is really of no concern to the United States Air Force, otherwise they would completely retire it. Now let's get into the next fact. Fact 4. Boom or Drogue. So everyone knows, and the picture here you can see, the KC-135 tankers have a boom at the rear of the airplane to offload fuel to aircrafts. But did you know that this is not the only way for the KC-135 tankers to refuel other aircrafts? The boom is just one method of doing so. The KC-135 can also deploy drogues to refuel other aircrafts. Drogues are different from booms, that they're connected to the fuel tanks with a long hose, and there's more like a parachute thing at the end of it. I don't know if pilots prefer drogues or booms, but for the KC-135, it doesn't matter. They can accommodate both types of aircrafts to refuel them whichever way they prefer. Again, versatility is key. Can you imagine if they only provides the boom type refueling and the airplane needs a drogue type? They need to send a totally different tanker up there, and that is completely wasteful. Well, let's get into the next and final fact. 2 refuels at the same time. Another incredible part about the KC-135 tanker is that it can refuel 2 airplanes at the same time. I think that's so incredible, and also takes a lot of coordinations between the 3 airplanes. But once the coordination is made, it could drastically save time, because now instead of a sequential refueling pattern, 2 airplanes can refuel parallel at the same time, reducing the amount of time necessary to be in such a vulnerable position open to missile attacks or other enemy attacks. The faster they can refuel the entire squadron, the faster that squadron can continue its endurance and fly to its target and complete its mission objectives. I think it's so great that the KC-135 tanker can refuel 2 planes at the same time. They really thought about what is the best way and the fastest way to keep military jets flying in the air for as long as they could. Alright, that's it for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.